You did the thing. Hold on a second. It's coming on. All right. We are live again. Tea and Conversation live, and we are absolutely excited about it. Yes, go ahead on and share, tag, and call up 2 friends, because I have my big brother, Jarvis Alameen, community organizer, community activist, doing all of the things. And I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this men's health and how important men's health is, how important it is, and how you have just really taken charge of your health and gotten so involved with Barbershop Talk with a okay, I'm not sure what happened there. But Jarvis, I want you to jump right in, let everybody know about who you are, what you're doing, and a barbershop talk, and how important it is for our community, and definitely for our men.
Yes, for those in the audience that may not know me, I'm getting a little feedback. Think that's better now? Okay. My name is Jarvis Elamine. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist with Envision Resolution Foundation. And what we're doing, we're spearheading a barbershop conversation movement, barbershop conversation initiative, where we integrate mental health education into the unique social environment of the barbershop, the community space of the barbershop. And our mission is to reduce the stigma around mental health and taking advantage of mental health and health and wellness uh, in general, and also among the Black community, but among Black men in particular. There's a stigma around mental health, having tools. If you're having some challenges in your life that you may need a therapist, a counselor, there's a big no in the Black community, particularly among Black men. There's a stigma. So our mission is to reduce that stigma around mental health. And we know that mental health right now is a big issue. And mental health is uh, anxiety, or we call it in the country worration, just worrying and not being able to put your life together mentally, and having the tools to fix your own life that the therapist or the counselor can't fix you, but they give you some tools that you can fix your own life. And so I
Right.
embarked upon this journey, this health and wellness movement with Envision Resolution Foundation. Shout out to our CEO, Miss Antoinette Davis, the founder and CEO of Envision Resolution Foundation, for seeing value and bringing me on to promote this great initiative that I'm very excited about. Health and wellness in general. I don't know that you know, Miss Candy, but chronic disease such as diabetes, heart disease, and stroke, in the zip code of 33610, 20% of the people that don't have health insurance have been diagnosed as being a diabetic. That's a big number
Mm,
in one zip code area. 20% of the
right.
people are being a diabetic. That is, you don't, and that is a real challenge, because you don't want to be a
Right.
diabetic. And my own health
Right.
journey uh, uh, tell us that. So,
Right.
first of all, I want to say that I got involved because of my own health journey.
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago, I was 270 pounds, and I went from 270 to I'm now 184. I have some good news report. If you see this shirt here, know your numbers. My blood pressure is a good number. I think I'm 135 over 80. I just got my A1C the other day, and when 7 years ago, my A1C was 9.7. My A1C now
Wow.
is 5.3. That's the lowest
Wow.
it's been. That's the lowest it's been since I've been on this journey, and that calls
Wow.
for celebration. That calls for clapping it up. That's called for bigging it
Yes,
up.
it does.
That calls for all heart rate is about 70, which your heart rate should be between 60 and 100. So I'm great there. And BMI, I don't put a lot of stock in the BMI because I think it's culturally biased on that because of your weight,
Yes.
and your height and your weight, but in that area. But I can tell you for sure that being able to have this a healthy lifestyle, I feel
Mm-hmm.
100% better. I was a full, for those in your listening audience and viewing audience, I was a full diabetic. And I tell you what happened is that a lot of times people be saying they're borderline diabetic. I tell you, I don't think there's no such thing. If your blood
There's
sugar,
no such thing.
yeah, A1C is 5.9, you're not a diabetic. If it's 6, you are diabetic. If it's 6.1, you're diabetic.
Correct.
6.2, you're diabetic. Because I was
Correct.
told that whole story about borderline diabetes. I kept on eating the way I eating, kept on eating the starches, the rice, and processed food, not exercising, and I ended up where I was. And so we
Mm-hmm.
have to get control of this. This is something that we can do, taking personal responsibility of our health. As you know, we're losing people every day in our community. And people don't want to say it because it's not the right thing to say for people want to say. But most of these people that we're losing in our community, if you dig deep enough, you're gonna find there's some health concerns that
Absolutely.
could have been cured with just better food choices, exercising,
Mhm.
eating right, and taking control of your health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I say that all the time, DJ. I'm thinking my husband in my mind. Sorry, my brother. I'm thinking about when we were younger, in our 40s. And if you in your 40s and you start going to see your primary physician, they start with the baseline and they let you know what your numbers are at that point. And at that point is really when you need to start digging down and trying to either bring it down or keep it leveled out. So that's so important. Once you get that first initial level, blood levels, like you say, your A1C was 9.7 and you gotten it down to 5.3. Tell us what that journey was like and how did you get your A1C down?
Well, let me say first of all, you got to know your numbers. That's why I wear this shirt so proudly. I was so impressed with this shirt. You got to be out of your mind not knowing what your numbers is. You have black men say, "I don't want to know my numbers." How ignorant is that? So if
Yeah.
you got to know your numbers. When the journey started, you have to start making better food choices. You really have to make better food choices. Start there. Everybody want to start with exercise. Oh yeah, I walked 30 miles. I did this and all that. And I say, oh, that's well and good. But 85% of your weight loss journey is going to depend on nutrition. It's going to depends on what you put in your body. And so you have to
Right.
make better food choices. You got to get off the starch and the processed food, the starch and the rice and the bread and all that turn into sugar. The mac and cheese, the pasta turn into sugar. Anything in the box processed food high in sodium is going to raise your blood pressure. You got to drink a lot of water. 16 ounces of water. You should try to do at least 5 or 6 bottles a day. And you have to be intentional about it. You got to get your first two
Right.
down. I got what? 4 more to go. I got 3 more to go. You got to drink the water because it's going to hydrate your body. And our body is 85% water. So you're going to lose
Mhm.
water weight right off the bat. You're going to come out the gate losing 5 or 6 pounds if you just start drinking water. And then you do have to do a brisk walk. Exercises is important. It is important. 3 days a week, 20 to 30 minutes. You may start with 20 minutes a day for 3 days a week. Then you may increase to 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Then you may increase to 4 days a week, may increase to 35 minutes a day. But brisk, operative word is brisk walk
Brilliant.
and get your heart rate up. Break out a little sweat.
Hmm.
And you will start seeing, and
Right.
then to know your numbers, you need to be checking your numbers. I did it on the journey. I had a journey called Feel Good Friday. Check my numbers, my weight, my numbers, my blood pressure, my blood sugar every Friday.
Hmm.
You need to know it. So here's the problem, Ken.
Hmm.
Herein lies the problem. You got people don't even do their blood work but once a year.
Hmm.
That ain't gonna
Right.
work out too good for you. And
Right.
those who doing it every 6 months. That's better, but that ain't gonna work out too good for you. You need to be doing your blood work every 3 months so that you can find if something going wrong,
Right.
you can catch it. You can catch it quick enough. So what's going on in our communities, particularly among black men, when they get colon cancer, is already in the fifth and sixth stage. In the
Yeah.
fourth and fifth stage, when they get prostate cancer, same thing. So when you get to it, early detection early detection, and being a
Yes.
self-advocate to the doctor. You got to have a
Self
primary
advocate.
advocate. You got to advocate for yourself, and you got to have a primary care physician that you feel comfortable with, that's culturally enriched, that understand your culture, that understand your lifestyle. You can't have another culture being your primary care physician, and that's the same thing with a mental health counselor, with a therapist. It can't be a therapist that don't look like you, don't have not experienced some of your lived experience, your lived
Right.
experiences. It had nothing to do with racism. They just haven't had your lived experience. And so it's
Right.
very important to have a great primary care physician. Shout out to mine, Dr. Tracy Thompson from
Yes.
Dr. Tracy House. I remember
Yes.
we took the black business bus. We took
Yes.
the black business
Yes.
bus tour there when we early on when she first opened up Dr. Tracy's house, and Dr. Tracy's house office used to be the place where we had tea conversation, was where the tea shop was. That's that was
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Let me say this here too, Jarvis, is that getting your levels. Once you get your levels, and this is one thing that I was taught years ago, is making sure that you get your lab work. When you go that first time to your primary physician and they do the lab work, they do the blood work, making sure that you get a copy of your lab and have a folder. Just like you have your bills and everything else, you need a folder with all of your health information in it too, because then you can refer back from every 3 months, and you can actually take control of your health by looking at your numbers. I'm every single time you talk about what your A1C was and what you brought it down to, and how you got so aggressive in making sure that you was healthy, and you didn't necessarily want to take the medication, you wanted to try to do it on your own at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about that, Jarvis.
Well, I can tell you something, Ken. I'm glad you brought that up because I never forget. 7 years ago, I went to a doctor. I was working for Spectrum at the time. I had some decent insurance. Had an immigrant Muslim sister who was my doctor from Pakistan, and she told me, she said, "Listen, if you don't get lose at least 10 pounds when you come back here, I'm gonna put you on metformin." And let me give my
Mm,
disclaimer. I'm not gonna say I don't say metformin is bad for everybody, but for the most part, the clinical trials shows that the side effects of metformin, it affects your kidney. That's the same thing happened to Ikea that was on the corner with Hakeem. That's the same thing
mhm.
happened to Jetty B. Wiles. They all was on dialysis. They all took metformin. I remember them guys. And I said to them from Jetty passing, being on metformin, from Ikea passing, being on metformin, I told the doctor, I looked at him, I said, "You're not putting me on no metformin. I'm not taking no metformin." She said, "Well,
Mhm.
if you're not going to take metformin, you need to sign this form that I told you that you needed
Yep.
to take metformin." So I signed it and said, "No, I'm not taking it." Then she told me I couldn't go on Ramadan. I said, "Ma'am, I've never missed Ramadan in my whole Islamic life. I ain't about to miss Ramadan now." She said, "Well, you don't need
Right.
to be doing Ramadan because you need to be eating." And God be my witness. And
Mhm.
I went on Ramadan. I come out of Ramadan, right? And Ramadan is not to lose weight, but it's one of the benefits of Ramadan is that you will lose weight. The purpose of it is to have a
Mhm.
closer connection with God. But I did
Correct.
come out of Ramadan with 15 pounds at the box 7 years ago. And I ain't looked back
Mhm.
since. That 15 pounds inspired me. And that was the birth of Feel Good Friday. So I came home, lost 15 pounds. I bought the machine. I pricked myself and checked my blood sugar.
Yep.
And my blood sugar that day I walked in there was 600. I'm supposed to be dead now. According to medical science, Jarvis Elamine should be dead and gone. You're supposed to be talking about,
Mhm.
"Yeah, he was a good brother. We miss Jarvis." Y'all be talking about me in the past tense. So I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
gone with a blood sugar 600. You're supposed to go into a diabetic coma. So she wanted to know how I walk in there. And so what happened was, Ken, I just made my mind up. And I tell you who inspired me. You never believe who inspired me.
Cool.
Laurie, Laurie Mills, who used to work for TMP, work at the credit union. I
Mhm.
called Laurie because Laurie had lost a lot of weight. I said, "No, you know how big Laurie was. She was at the tea shop with us." with
Mm-hmm.
the ice cream magazine. I said, Laura, how did you love it? She told me straight up. She looked me in my eyes and said, you got to leave all the starch alone. You got to drink a lot of water. You got to no bread, no processed food. And she said, Jarvis, you can do that because if you did Ramadan, this ain't nothing for you. She was so confident I can do it. And she inspired me to do
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
hearing her say that, the vote of confidence she had in me, I couldn't let myself down. No, no. And I took what she said and just rolled it around in my head. And that's what I did. I got inspired. And once I lost those 15 pounds out of Ramadan, it was a tough journey to get under 200. I would get to 203, 208. I could never get under 200. I just go, and that's what you're going to have. You're going to have that wall you hit. You can't give up
Mm-hmm.
when you hit that wall. You can get to a point where you're gonna stick at the same weight. I stayed at one weight for
Mm-hmm.
2 months one time. I was and never got discouraged. I was concerned, but not discouraged. I was just saying I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta push through. Because my goal was always to get under 200. And so now I'm at 184. I don't know. I can't go no lower. I can't go no lower than that. My wife said, look, you can't go no. She said, watch it now. So I don't want to be. I always look in the mirror and say I don't look like I'm sick, though, Jay. I look like I don't look like I got no cancer, and I do. And
Uh,
184 is kind of where I'm gonna kind of end this. I could probably go to one. I could probably do 180 and don't be too bad looking, but I think
yes.
that I'm at a weight that I can live with right now. And that journey was a
Yes.
great journey. And so I wanted to do after I uh, retired from selling the ADT and start working with Spectrum. I wanted to get involved in something that was meaningful and impactful. And actually, this
Mm-hmm.
organization, this came around because another organization, Positive Spin, with Jada McMillan, she applied for this same funding for Barbershop Conversation. And she had put me in the grant and everything. And she said, no, we didn't get it. And this particular organization, Vision Resolution Foundation, Antoinette Davis, they won because they was already doing barbershop real talk when they was going into the
Mm-hmm.
barbershops. Two parts of this barbershop conversation movement. It's two parts. We have barbershop conversation where we integrate mental health into the social environment of the barbershop and we train barbers to be mental health advocates. And then there's barbershop real talk where we have a gathering of men in the barbershop once a month, the first Tuesday of the month and the last Tuesday of the month, where we choose a topic and a speaker and we talk about a topic. It's very engaging. So the last one we did was the last Tuesday in May. The joys and challenges of fatherhood. We got another one coming up where we're going to be doing that one at Sheer Excellence Barbershop, 4707 East Bush, June
Mm-hmm.
24th at 6 o'clock to 7:30. You have to register for this, so you need to go to barbershop talks.org. But to register for our grand kickoff. But Barbershop Real Talk, we have a QR code. If you can see this, this is the QR
Mm-hmm.
code we have. If you can put that,
Okay. If
okay,
you can send that to me, if you can send me that entire flyer,
I will.
I will definitely post that on all my social media platforms.
I appreciate that. And we're going to have free food. Each attendant will get a $10 voucher off, haircut voucher, so they get $10 off their next haircut. That's going to be uh, Sheer Excellence Barbershop, 4707 East Bush, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Our speaker is Reverend Caleb Barnum. He'll be talking about the joys and challenges of fatherhood. He was great. He did one in May. He was in there. He was knocking it out the park. It was very engaging. The men really got involved. The young men really learned something about how to be a good father. What are the challenges of being a good father? About custody issues, child support issues. Have men talking about fatherhood with older
Yes.
men and young men talking about fatherhood. It just was amazing.
Yes.
Brothers from the Nation of Islam, they came. Brother Minister Chad and his crew,
Yes.
about 6 or 7 of
Yes.
them came. So we had a diverse faith community, had a diverse group of brothers, professional brothers, retired brothers, street brothers, young brothers, and all us talking about the joys and challenges of fatherhood, which is something that was near dear to my heart because I valued fatherhood. Being a good father
Yes.
is mean the world to me. And I want to try to teach our young
Yes.
brothers, not just go out here having babies, is not being a father. Just going ahead getting a girl pregnant is not being a father, but what are the responsibilities? What do good fatherhood look like? What that look like? You know, what
Mhm.
come with that? How to be the maintainer, protector, and provider for your family, for your wife and your children. You know what I mean? And promote family life, not this shacking up and trying to be no player, but promoting family life and getting married.
Mhm.
That's the family structure, you know. So we really talked about that, and we'll continue to talk about that.
I absolutely love it. And if anybody needs any information, you can give Jarvis a call. But we definitely want people to register. Correct, Jarvis?
Yes, we wanted to register. We want to get a count on the food. So I'll be sending you the flyer. You have a QR code on it. You know, this is high technology now. You just click it and register. All we ask for you is your name and blah, blah, blah. And then so we get a count on the food. And last time we had 23 men show up at Atticus Barbershop on the 3rd of June. That was amazing to me. It was 23 men came and they all was highly engaged. We had food, healthy food. You know, I told her we can't be having these sessions and we have food that's not good. That's another thing
Yeah.
we have to do. We have to always in these social settings, we got to start demanding that, you know, and I have to respect my Tampa Bay community. A lot of these social settings don't have the swine now because they know that I don't eat swine. And plus, a lot of people finding out pork is not good, don't have nothing to do with religion. Don't have nothing to do with
Yeah. A
religion.
lot
So
of yeah. Yeah. A
it's
lot of
high in
people
sodium.
becoming yeah. A lot of people becoming vegetarians, pescatarian. You know, I'm 8 years of no meat, just seafood, fish. And so we got a lot of people that are changing their diet. A lot of young people, definitely in the Tampa Bay area, they have really gotten a hold of their diets. And I love it and doing the right thing. But I'm just so excited about Barbershop Talk with the men and really grinding down on their health and you know, just making sure that they're doing the right thing. I want to go back to this right quick, Jarvis. You mentioned about checking your blood pressure once a week and doing your finger sticks, um, making sure that you keeping a log of everything, because I believe that when you do that and then you go back to the doctor in 3 months, then you're not surprised because you have been keeping your own log.
Yeah, I think that's good. You know, I tell a story, Candy, about when my blood pressure last. I don't take no medicine. Thank God for that. None. The last medicine I took was a low dosage or Lodipine. That was 2 years
Mm-hmm.
into the 7 year. And I told my doctor, I said, I'm not taking no more Lodipine. He said, well, you still need to take your blood pressure a little high. I said, no, I'm not going to take it. He said, well, if you're not going to take it, then I need you to take your blood pressure every day for 30 days. Journalize it. Take it in the morning when you wake up. Take it at night
Yep.
before you go to sleep. And I had that
Yep.
journal. I took that journal to my doctor with me. He said, what did you do, Jarvis? I
Yep.
said, I just ate right, did my walking. He said, your blood pressure is the bomb. I mean, it was just excellent. I mean,
Yep.
it was just off the charts. And so knowing journalizing is the power of journalizing, knowing what your pressure is, knowing sometimes you could eat a certain things and then you looked at your blood pressure when you checked it that night, say, oh, I know I ate this and that ran my pressure up. I ate some processed food with high in sodium and it ran my pressure up. And that's what the pork do. It's very high in sodium. And so it raised your pressure immediately. It raised your pressure so high. So you have to be very, very careful with that. So you have to journalize your blood pressure, your blood sugar, and your blood pressure, blood sugar, definitely, and your weight. You got to keep you. It's great to know once a week because if you get a quarter of a pound, celebrate the little victory that you have. I remember when I encouragement, it keep encouraging you. Celebrate little victories, and then the great victories will come. So I do want to talk, Candy, about um, our grand kickoff event. I really want to talk about that. That's at the top of my mind awareness right now. That's what we're really drilling down on right now as an organization at Envision Resolution Foundation is our grand kickoff. The Barbershop Conversation Grand Kickoff is a national acclaimed mental health initiative. It's going to be at the Skills Center, 5107 North 22nd Street. That's going to be Sunday, June 22nd from 4 to 7. We have the Confess Project of America who came up with the curriculum. It's a Harvard review curriculum for mental health advocacy training. It's going to be the first time this powerful program have come to Florida. We're the first city in the state of Florida to do this program. We're going to have a panel discussion with barbers, clergy, and lay people. We'll have food, community leaders, mental health advocates, barbers, because we're going to do the training the next day, the 23rd, for all those who signed up. But in order to come, we're going to have also vendors. We're going to have a confession booth where you can come in and confess the mental health concerns you may have. We're gonna do that. You're gonna have a gallery with all of the stats about suicide and mental health. We have a whole board with all these stats on it. So we're gonna have a real good time at the Skill Center. We really need you to come. This is our grand kickoff. The mayor gonna have a video message there. We have all elected officials, the children board, Tampa General Hospital. It's come on as one of our sponsors and partners. The children board is gonna be there as well. We definitely want you to be there. It's not no kickoff without you, the community. And so you need to go to barbershoptalks.org, barbershoptalks.org to register. If we may have one or two more vending spots left, not that many. So you can click on become a table vendor. There's a tab for that. If you want to volunteer for this event, so you can come in and experience this. You know, you don't have to worry about experience and get some. And then the college students, a high school student that want to get a community service certificate, any retired brothers and sisters that want to just come out and be a part of something big and something grand. This kickoff going to be grand. We have over 4,000 barbers have signed up for barbershop conversation training all over the country in 32 states, and you'll be a part of making history. So if you want to be a volunteer, click on become a volunteer. The same website, barbershoptalks.org. You can click on the tab that said be a volunteer, click on the tab that said become a vendor, or just register to be in attendance. Make your face be in the place. And if you didn't get all of that, that was a lot. Just call me at 813-787-6652, Jarvis Salamine, Community Engagement Specialist in Vision Resolution Foundation.
I like it. I am just so excited about this program, this foundation, men becoming more aware and being healthy and taking control of their life. I love it. I love it. You have been saying it for a long time. Yes.
Well, I thank you, Candy, for sharing your platform with me and sharing your platform with the Envision Resolution Foundation, because you have a great platform. And you're doing a lot of work in this community. Your regular community service is it's the best. You know, it's the best. We got our Teen Conversation 20th anniversary coming up. We got our Black Business Hall of Fame coming up August the 9th. I cannot miss that. And last time I couldn't make it, unfortunately, but I will be there this time. And thank God for that. But I also want to give a shout out to Councilman Bill Carson. They invited me to Friday to be at Cafe Con. I know you've been there a few times. Matter of fact, I've been there with you. You and President Yvette Lewis is the one who helped me to the place. I went there with her first, and then the next time I went with you. And I love that spot. It's like a white version of Tea and Conversation,
Yes.
but a powerful version. But you know. Which we have diversity at Tea and Conversation, and they have diversity at Cafe Con, you know, so that's an inside joke, but we really, really like Bill Carson. They're doing it at the Portico, and I love the Portico. You know, Mona hipped us to the Portico. She hipped us to the Portico. I didn't know about it, but when she did her banquet there, I really liked that place. And they did the Black Business Hall of Fame there. We're doing it again there. I will be at the Portico, Cafe Con, 8 o'clock Friday morning. Sharing this information about the Barbershop Conversation Movement and our monthly gathering of Barbershop Real Talk, where we talk about health and wellness concerns with men inside of the barbershop. So we done signed up, 138 barbers since March the 7th, 130. The first day I signed up over 35 barbers. And shout out to Shea Excellence Hair Salon, Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson there. That was my first. I signed up 30 of their barbers that's in barber school there. I signed up some of their instructors. They're gonna be there. Uh, they are part of our partners in this. What a wonderful family. You know them. I know them. They are very, very good. Then they also signed up. They have another school down in Rico. We signed up the students over there as well. And so we are very excited about this grand kickoff. All boots on the ground. We boots on the ground. We boots on the ground.
Yes. And Jarvis, I don't know if you remember when we started the bus tour. I want to say it was the first year or the second year. I can't remember. When Sheer Excellence, their initial location was right up the street from the Harbor Club on Nebraska.
Yes.
And they were a vendor at the Harbor Club for the bus tours several times. They would
That's right.
and set their table up. I have pictures of them way back. I don't know if it was in 06 or 07. And I just love that couple and how they, no matter what has gone on with their life, they have been stuck like glue in spite of and just making it happen, and have changed the lives of so many young people in our community, have changed the lives tremendously in our community.
Change the line, change the address, change the bank account, change the zip code. I see all the barbers when I engage with them, most of them went to Sherrickson Hair Academy. And they call him Mr. H, Mr. H and Miss Rosetta. And so they are great, respecting the community. And I tell you something, Candy, when I walked there to come talk to them about being a part of this movement, there was open arms. They had great admiration for you and the work that we have done together. When they see me, they say, hi, Candy doing that? Y'all doing some great work. And they was following us all along. Even if they wasn't there, they were there in spirit, because they know they just laid out everything that we have been involved in. So I know they have been following what we've been doing in this community. One thing I want to say, Candy, is that there have not been a team like the Black Business Bus Tour and Team Conversation. Our team is the longest running team in this town as a group of brothers and sisters that's sticking together for a great cause and been doing good things in the community. I mean, our history of doing things in the community. You'll have a lot to talk about when I transition. You know, you should have a whole lot to talk about, things that we've been got made a difference. Not just being impressive, but it being impactful, changing lives and changing bank accounts and having fun doing it. You know, it's amazing. Alva Connie, Sister Connie Burden, Marcus Garvey, Connie, NAACP, all of our team just found their way. You know, Grow Your Giving with Tawana Bradley, Wardrobe, WR Event Center. All the people that came through this incubator have all found a way, and they're making a difference in every facet of life in this community. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Think about all the people that went through this school of thought with us, and we still can all come back together. That's why the reunion gonna be so nice. The reunion gonna be so nice because we're gonna bring all Motown Maurice and Cato when he had the lips, and Wide Awoke Wednesday, and all these things that grew out of that. Wonder Monday when she used to bring all the college students. I mean, this is just an amazing movement that have embraced all the good that's ever happened in Tampa. Just how you embrace Barbershop Conversation, the mental health advocacy movement, to integrate mental health in the barbershop space, Barbershop Real Talk, where we can talk to a gathering of Black men. We have always embraced all the good in the community. All the Black chambers that have been around, we embraced every good that have came in this community. Your leadership, your visionary leadership, and your platforms have always been there to make the community better. And that I want to say thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. You know my history. I can only say that to a few people. You definitely know my history from day one, and you've been there with me, good, bad, ugly, lift me up, lift me down, put me back up again. So you've been there every step of the way. If anybody could even give my eulogy, it could be you to do that, because you have been there, and we have been in the trenches together a long, long time, making it happen. I do like when you community service. We have definitely made an impact in our wonderful city. If you have any more on registering, we want to make sure everybody register at barbershoptalks.org. And if you need any more information, you can also call Brother Jarvis. The number's right here on the screen. You can give him a call and get connected. We want men to get connected. And another thing, men, bring your boys with you. Bring your
Yeah.
boys with you. Bring your teenage boys with it.
And your grandchildren.
With you. And yes, bring your
Your
boys
grandboys.
with you. And that can be a start of something new. Everybody in the house getting healthy.
Yeah, it's important, Candy. It is very important. We see every day, every 2 months, we losing giants in this community. My prayers and condolences goes out to the family of Council Lady Gwen Henderson, to her family.
Yes.
That transition day before yesterday, you know, and my children's mother transitioned back in April. So we just be, we have to, in our faith tradition says that these are signs that God is telling us to prepare ourselves, that we'll be leaders and we'll lead the way and transition to another life as well. But we want to leave a legacy and live our life to the fullest. And you can't do that not being healthy. You don't want to be on a cruise at the Lido deck with a walker. You don't have no walk around with no walker. You don't want to be walking around with no oxygen tank. You don't want to be walking around. You don't want to do it. You want a quality of life. And your health is your greatest wealth. And I tell you something, it's worth more than gold. It's worth more than diamonds. It's worth more than a hunk of money. Yes, I want a hunk of money. Candy like a hunk of money. DJ like a hunk of money. Jay like a hunk of money. But I like, first, good health. I like first getting up in the morning feeling healthy. No elements. You know how the people say in the church, I woke up this morning, I had movement in my limbs. Thank God for the movement in the limbs. I understand all that, but I want to wake up every day. I ain't got to just say every day I want to wake up with movement in my limbs. Every day I want to feel good about my health. And that's an ongoing project. I end with this. We, as a community, are digging our graves with our teeth.
Wow.
Hope you got it.
Wow.
Hope you got it. We are digging our graves with our teeth because all the things that sending us to the graveyard is preventable. High blood pressure, preventable. Diabetes, preventable. Colon cancer, preventable. Prostate cancer, preventable. And all this start with early detection and knowing your numbers. Keeping a track of where your numbers are. And with that, you can live a quality, wholesome, healthy life. I'm going to see you at Barbershop Conversation Grand Kickoff. It's going to be Sunday, June 22nd. It's going to be at the Skill Center. We're going to have a great moment. It's going to be free food, DJ. It's going to be really, really nice. And I want you to meet me there and be a part of this Barbershop Conversation movement and this health and wellness movement so we can change lives for the better. Because if you're healthy, then you can be wealthy.
Absolutely. And you heard it first right here. Jarvis Salamine, my big brother. If you want to register, barbershoptalks.org. And if you need any information, the number is right here on the screen. Give him a call. And we want to make sure that everyone stay healthy. Thank you so much, Jarvis. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining Tea and Conversation. And I will see everybody at our 20th year celebration of Tea and Conversation on June 28th. We'll be down in Ybor City. I can't believe, Jarvis, we've been there 7 years now.
Yeah, it's been, we stayed there longer than we stayed at one spot. It seemed like to me, but I like that because we stationary there. Other than the spot we had when we had the tea shop, we was there all the time. And there was that good little cafe for a little while too. But 20 years is gonna be great. I hope some of the old timers come back. And we got some Carl Warren stories, some Eddie Adams Jr. stories. Oh my God, we got some Michelle Williams stories. We got some stories. Oh my God, we got the real.
Yes,
so that's gonna be interesting.
What I wanted to do It's people that was there the first 5 years. I've been reaching out to them. And then people that's been there that first 10 years, I've been reaching out to them. So I wanted to have like a little list of people that's going to get a chance to maybe speak a couple minutes at Tea and Conversation Celebration. So you can also help me with some of those people, recognizing them in the audience as well.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something, man. So much that came out of that tea and conversation, but I want to be able to tell how it first started, how we really the first 2 or 3 tea and conversation we did at the Harbor Club. That's gonna be the story to tell.
Oh God, it
I
was so
cannot
much.
wait.
It was so much relationship talk as well. We
That's right.
were not really in politics at the
No, we weren't that
beginning
political.
much.
No,
Yeah,
we weren't that
it wasn't
political.
much. It wasn't much of that at all. I mean, we had people locked in for hours, listening to sitting in with us. So yeah, I can't wait. And I will
I
see
cannot.
you. I will see you when I see you, brother. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
joining me this morning. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody,
Ken.
for and you're welcome. Make sure you share it out, share it with your friends. Make sure you touch bases with Brother Jarvis. And I will see everybody on our next Tea and Conversation Live. Have a great day.
Thank you.